Imagine a man who seemingly has it all: drive, ambition, independence. Yet his inner circle? Empty. The internet whispers of the Sigma male, the ultimate individualist. But what if that carefully constructed image cracks? What if the lack of friends isn't a badge of honor, but a symptom? A silent cry for connection masked by self-sufficiency? We're pulling back the curtain on the Sigma male myth to explore the hidden dynamics that might explain their isolated reality. Prepare to question everything. Absolutely. Let's delve into 7 engaging points, each approximately 350 words, presented in paragraph form with captivating examples to keep your viewers hooked. Absolutely. Let's delve into 7 engaging points, each approximately 350 words, presented in paragraph form with captivating examples to keep your viewers hooked. 1. The illusion of choice. We often hear the term Sigma male associated with a deliberate choice of solitude, a conscious opting out of the often messy and demanding world of friendships. But what if this perception is a carefully constructed illusion? Imagine a vast, serene forest. Solitude in this context is like choosing to wander through its quiet paths, finding peace and introspection amidst the trees. It's a voluntary retreat for rejuvenation and self-discovery. Now, picture someone lost and alone in the same forest, desperately trying to find a way out, feeling the weight of their isolation pressing down on them. This is the crucial difference between solitude and isolation. The Sigma male narrative often glorifies the former, while potentially masking the latter. Consider the archetype of the brooding, successful entrepreneur who works tirelessly, seemingly by choice, eschewing social engagements. On the surface, it appears to be a deliberate preference for focus and independence. However, scratch beneath the surface, and you might find a history of social anxieties, a fear of vulnerability, or even a lack of understanding of how to cultivate genuine connections. Their choice of solitude might be less of a powerful declaration of independence and more of a default setting born out of discomfort or past negative experiences. The engaging example here is the contrast between a monk who intentionally seeks silence for spiritual growth and someone who avoids social interaction due to crippling shyness. Both are alone, but their internal experiences and the underlying reasons for their solitude are worlds apart. This point aims to challenge the simplistic notion that all Sigma males are simply choosing to be friendless, prompting viewers to consider the possibility of underlying, perhaps less glamorous, reasons. 2. The armor of independence. The Sigma male is often portrayed as the epitome of self-reliance, the individual who needs no one and can conquer any challenge single-handedly. While a degree of independence is undoubtedly healthy and admirable, an extreme form of hyper-self-reliance can inadvertently build an impenetrable wall around an individual, making genuine connection incredibly difficult. Think of a medieval knight clad in shining armor. While the armor provides protection against external threats, it also creates a physical and emotional distance from others. Every interaction becomes filtered through layers of metal, hindering the possibility of vulnerability and true intimacy. Similarly, the hyper-independent individual might subconsciously project an image of invincibility, signaling to others that they don't need help, support, or even companionship. Consider the scenario of someone facing a personal crisis, a job loss, a family issue. A person with a healthy support system would naturally reach out to friends for emotional comfort and practical advice. However, the hyper-self-reliant individual, driven by a deep-seated belief that they must handle everything on their own, might suffer in silence, pushing away any well-intentioned offers of help. 3. The shadow of past wounds. Our past social experiences leave indelible marks on our psyches, shaping how we approach future relationships. For individuals who identify with the Sigma male archetype and have few or no friends, it's crucial to consider the potential impact of past negative social encounters. Imagine a once trusting and open child who experiences betrayal by a close friend or endures relentless bullying. These wounds can fester over time, leading to a deep-seated skepticism and reluctance to form new close bonds. The Sigma male's seemingly aloof demeanor and preference for solitude might be less of a philosophical stance and more of a protective mechanism built to avoid future pain. Consider someone who has experienced the sting of gossip or the disappointment of unreciprocated effort in past friendships. They might develop a subconscious aversion to the vulnerability that close friendships require, opting instead for the perceived safety of solitude. Their lack of friends isn't necessarily a sign of superiority or disinterest in connection, but rather a consequence of learned avoidance. The engaging example here is the analogy of a rescued animal that, despite being in a safe and loving environment, still flinches at sudden movements due to past trauma. Similarly, individuals with negative social histories might instinctively recoil from the intimacy of close friendships, even if a part of them desires connection. This point emphasizes that the absence of friends in some Sigma males might be rooted in past hurts rather than a conscious lifestyle choice. 4. The misinterpretation of introversion. It's essential to differentiate between introversion, a natural personality preference for quieter environments and deeper connections, and a pathological avoidance of social interaction stemming from underlying issues. The Sigma male archetype often borrows heavily from the traits associated with introversion, a preference for solitude, a tendency to recharge through alone time, and a focus on internal thoughts and ideas. However, this can lead to a dangerous misinterpretation where a genuine preference for smaller social circles is conflated with an inability or unwillingness to form any meaningful connections. Imagine the difference between an artist who enjoys spending hours alone in their studio, immersed in their creative work, but still cherishes their close friendships, and someone who isolates themselves entirely due to social anxiety or a fear of judgment. Both might spend significant time alone, but their motivations and underlying emotional states are vastly different. The Sigma male narrative sometimes romanticizes the extreme end of introversion, presenting a lack of friends as a sign of strength and independence. However, for many genuine introverts, while they may not crave constant social stimulation, meaningful connections with a few trusted individuals are still vital for their well-being. The engaging example here is the comparison between a deep-sea diver who chooses to explore the silent depths of the ocean for its unique beauty, and someone who is shipwrecked on a deserted island, longing for human contact. Both are in isolation, but one is a chosen exploration, while the other is a state of distress. This point aims to clarify that a preference for solitude, a hallmark of introversion, doesn't automatically equate to a lack of friends or a desire for complete social isolation. 5. The barrier of unexpressed needs. Building and maintaining close friendships requires a degree of vulnerability, the willingness to share our thoughts, feelings, and needs with others. For individuals who identify as Sigma males, often characterized by their self-reliance and stoicism, expressing vulnerability can feel like anathema to their carefully constructed image. This difficulty in expressing needs and seeking support can inadvertently create a significant barrier to forming meaningful connections. Imagine trying to build a bridge with someone while keeping your own side shrouded in mist. The other person can't see where to connect, where you need support, or how they can truly be there for you. Similarly, if an individual consistently projects an image of unwavering strength and independence, others might hesitate to offer help or attempt to forge a deeper connection, assuming that their efforts are unnecessary or unwanted. Consider someone going through a difficult time but refusing to confide in anyone, fearing that it will make them appear weak or dependent. While they might secretly yearn for support, their inability to express this need leaves them isolated in their struggles. The engaging example here is the analogy of a lone wolf howling in the distance, a powerful sound, but one that signifies isolation rather than connection. True strength lies not only in self-sufficiency, but also in the courage to be vulnerable and to allow others to share our burdens. This point underscores how the Sigma males often perceive strength and independence can ironically hinder their ability to form the very connections that could provide genuine support and fulfillment. 6. The mismatch of expectations. Social norms and expectations around friendship can be complex and often unspoken. Individuals who identify with the Sigma male archetype often defined by their nonconformity and rejection of traditional social hierarchies, might find themselves struggling to navigate these established dynamics, inadvertently leading to fewer friendships. Imagine trying to play a game without knowing the rules. You might make unintentional missteps, misunderstand social cues, and ultimately find yourself on the periphery. Similarly, if someone actively resists conventional ways of building and maintaining relationships, perhaps by shunning small talk, avoiding group activities, or prioritizing their own interests above all else, they might find it challenging to connect with others who operate within these social norms. Consider someone who finds small talk superficial and prefers deep, meaningful conversations from the outset. While their desire for authenticity is admirable, their directness might be perceived as aloofness or disinterest by those who value the initial stages of building rapport through lighter interactions. The engaging example here is the contrast between a seasoned traveler who effortlessly navigates the customs of a new country and someone who stubbornly adheres to their own ways, potentially leading to misunderstandings and isolation. This point highlights how a rejection of social norms, often seen as a sigma trait, can create friction in social interactions and make it harder to form and maintain friendships. 7. The self-fulfilling prophecy. Our internal beliefs about ourselves and the world around us can have a powerful impact on our external reality. For individuals who identify with the Sigma male archetype and hold beliefs such as "I'm better off alone," "people can't be trusted," or "friendships are more trouble than they're worth," these very beliefs can become self-fulfilling prophecies, actively sabotaging their chances of forming meaningful connections. Imagine someone constantly telling themselves that they are unlovable. This negative self-talk can manifest in their behavior. They might avoid social situations, be overly critical of others, or subconsciously push people away, ultimately reinforcing their initial belief. Similarly, if a Sigma male firmly believes that true independence means having no close friends, they might act in ways that inadvertently prevent such connections from forming. They might misinterpret friendly gestures as attempts to control them, avoid vulnerability for fear of appearing weak, or simply not invest the time and effort required to nurture friendships. The engaging example here is the analogy of planting a seed. If you plant a seed of doubt and negativity, you're unlikely to harvest a flourishing garden of friendships.